Welcome back to the Eric Krown Crypto channel, wishing you a happy daily start to like Taco Tuesday, or maybe it's Tequila Tuesday. Who knows what it's going to be after this very, very exciting sideways range. Probably more of that, actually. Probably more of that. We'll be going over a few things. I wanted to follow up on the setups that we were looking at yesterday, what essentially they mean, and kind of thread them into the lower term time frame analysis, because there are actually a few interesting things going on right there as well. Anyways, I expect that a lot of things are kind of just waiting on the debt ceiling whole rigmarole going on in the US, so probably get resolution on this range, you know, maybe a little bit after that is what I would be looking at. Anyways, I probably expect no surprises there. I don't have anything like super enlightening to say. It's just I highly doubt they're not going to raise it. I think that's kind of the general, the general drift there. Anyways, other than that, I want to once again give the spotlight to the ByBit promotion going on. They got 0% on maker fees for derivative contract orders. Plus, you can get the Lite for free for the first 30 days if you follow the directions in the link in the description below. And then, of course, because ByBit and pretty much all exchanges go in KYC, which you may or may not be concerned about. I don't know why that might be. But if you are, you might want to check out their Apex exchange. It's a decentralized exchange. There's another affiliate link in the description below as well, which will award you 5% off of your fees for the lifetime of your account. Maybe some future things as well, actually. Who knows what the early adopters might get. Anyways, jump into it right on over here. Starting off things on a bit of a different angle, looking at the HPDR ranges. Just want to, put things into perspective, essentially. Bitcoin more or less doing the same shit as it has been. I mean, realistically, for like the past couple months now, as Bitcoin's been oscillating between about 26.5 lows versus about 30 to 31,000 highs, essentially. And in this case, going off the 12-hour time frame ranges right here, we can see the current low side of the range about 26,450, 26.5 if you want to round up right there, versus the median at about just under 28,000 bucks, 27,950 or so. Anything between there, not really super interesting as far as as far as the greater structure goes. But what would be very, very interesting, what would lead towards the doors of continuation, in this case the trapdoor of continuation, would be if Bitcoin does let go of the bottom side of this range on a closing basis. I do believe that you can move that number up now for failure on this current range from like I think we were looking at 26.2 or 26.3 yesterday. I do think that you could move that up to about 26.5 now, meaning that closing below there very likely begets continuation, just below 25,000 bucks. That's still very much in the cards. It's just, personally speaking, as we'll look at a little bit later, probabilities do suggest that Bitcoin's more likely to bounce off this region yet again. Anyways, and of course, a back above the median right here at about 27,950. At that point, I would be looking for this one to put in a pretty large rally, basically to the top side of the range as far as I'm concerned, at about 29.4. Retap these highs over here, tap those highs and tap the supplies, tap my supply and tap my high, baby. But more importantly, at that point is going to start to look a lot more like it wants to bust on through, and we probably do see that moves into the deeper 30s. Anyways, though, in the short term, bit of a different picture. However, looks like in the early morning hours for myself, while I was nice and asleep, hopefully, there was some hidden bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame right here, getting a little bit of a rejection at that 27.7 region or so. Or how high did it get up? Almost 27.8 or so. And of course, that hidden bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame likely to bleed into the 12-hour time frame here as well, with another almost 4 hours to go until it closes. If that does get confirmed, very likely we see at least a retest of that CME gap. The old gapologists over here are going to be quite happy about that. Somewhere down around like 26.5, 26.4 region. Essentially, retap the supply over here. Or is this the supply, or is this the high? I don't know. But yeah, probably somewhere down around there. Again, assuming that does get confirmed, which keep an eye out for that in the next like 4 hours. So basically closing here or lower, that will do it, or especially below 27,000 bucks. I would be expecting that move. Anyways, we've gone through that. We can now go into stochastic momentum, see where the pivots are right now. Going off of CME right here. Again, we are still witnessing the potential resetting of stochastic momentum on the daily time frame, which started, real kind of like at the early portion of this month, as Bitcoin essentially trades sideways within the range, but the stochastic loss sort of continues to come down here almost to the critical region. Now, it actually will officially cross the upside today if Bitcoin can close above 26,700 basically. If it does close above that region, again, it could very easily come back down to come down to the range lows, bounce off that, close above this number, and then initiate, the real bounce that I think, I'm more or less looking for. 12-hour time frame also going to be showing upside momentum as long as Bitcoin's above 26,300, as you can see, coming in from, again, that very, very, well, I wouldn't say it's like super critical, but it is coming in from the critical zone, just a shallow portion of it. 6-hour time frame going to be showing upside momentum as long as Bitcoin's above 26,700. 4-hour time frame is probably starting to turn down here, and yes, it is below 27.5, and hourly, I'd imagine, is probably doing something similar as well. Actually, no, it's potentially crossing up above 27.44, but Bitcoin's kind of awesome right around that region right now. So lower term timeframes, do suggest divergence and also momentum likely pointed to the downside. So probably does try for a little bit of a downside swoop. And then the higher term timeframes, assuming that those pivots aren't destroyed by the closure, does suggest that we probably bounce from the range low yet again. Or I fucking hate using we. I hate it. And whenever my tweet writer also writes we, fucking goddamn it, man, it's not we, it's Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin, for fuck's sake. We are people. We are people. We are not inanimate objects. We are not the same thing as this magic internet money. Just kidding, man. I love you, but seriously, stop using fucking we. Anyways, this is a great way to do business, by the way. No, it's all good. We love each other. But yeah, going through it, that's that'd be my kind of synopsis on that. Now, of course, this has very little to do with, or I mean, it actually does have a lot to do with the 12-hour setup that we're looking at over here. Also the 6-hour setup as well, but I'll just, I want to keep things kind of, consistent right here. And as you can see, the 12-hour setup was a Lite related setup. Basically, anytime that we do see the Lite go below about the 40 read and then turn white on the first tick, plus plus also seeing PMARP below about the 50 reads, that initiates the setup. And if we go ahead and use the strategy tester on the 12-hour time frame, out of the past 46 tested iterations, which basically brings us like back the last 3 years, there's been about a 76 or just over 76% probability of a nice short-term upside bounce over the course of the next 23 bars on average. So 23 bars on a 12-hour time frame is what? That's like 11 and a half days. This officially happened when? It officially happened on the 12th of May, so last Friday. So that would bring us into, about end of this week, early next week, basically, is what this would be suggestive of if it is going to play out to the upside. Now, again, what would invalidation be for this? Well, very, very simply put, I think that you could even invalidate it below like 26.5 on a closing basis, or 26.6 for that matter on a closing basis. But if you want to go by the book and the way that this one was tested, it would be about 26.450 or so. But again, I do think things back below about 26.6 on a closing basis would start to be like, hey, probably not going to play out. Anyways, if it does play out, or at least for the winning trades that we have seen on average, when they do play out, it has been an average move, an average return of about 8%. No, nice. Good job, Mr. Bot. Go be a good little slave over there. Do my fucking work that I programmed you to do. Kidding. Terrible things to be saying in the year of 2023. Anyways, 8% or just around 8% would put Bitcoin like pretty close to $29,000, which obviously would be significant because that would bring Bitcoin back above the median over here, and very likely does beget some sort of a move somewhere around like very high 28s to very low 29s, and that would ultimately set up this whole structure right here, probably to be a reaccumulation, probably likely to break out to the upside. I would say that that's fully confirmed back above about 29.4, 29.5 region on a closing basis. But for right now, it's this is still very much viable, still very much in the books, and so that is why I do say Bitcoin's more likely to bounce off these lows over here. I mean, you can already see that it retested. How far down did we get? Yeah, 26.8 or so. Not super concerning right there. I do think that could be another swipe lower, but I do think that swipe probably does get picked up. I don't really have concerns for this range until, again, that area gives way. If it does, at that point, yeah, probably looking somewhere down around like just below 25. It's going to bounce along the way, obviously, but that would be concerning. I did forget to mention one thing over here. Let me go back to the daily Gaussian channel. I do think it's also rather interesting right here. We can see that the median, or sorry, not the median, this is the mean right here. The mean is coming in right around about 26,550 or so. Again, very confluent with what we just looked at on the HPDR. Back below that region, yeah, probably looking at big moves to the downside into the upper 24s, low 25s. Until then, bounce off the, off the mean right here, which can, again, it can come back down and retest. That's fine. Probably do get another move to the top side of the range, which is, guess where? Mid, or basically like low 28s or so. So we see all these numbers continue to pop up here, basically. And that would be essentially what I have to say for today. Again, I think the debt ceiling conundrum is coming up either today or tomorrow. In fact, is this going to be on our events tab? I don't know. I don't know if something like this would be on our events tab. Maybe. Let's see. I see a lot of, by the way, you can use this for yourself, just with a free account on the Krown Trading application. I don't believe it's on here, so, but I do believe that it's either later today or tomorrow. Anyways, we'll get onto that one when it is relevant. Oh, my videos died. Oh no, my videos actually died, but that's okay. Forgot to charge my camera. Anyways, yeah, but want to be wishing you the best as always. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully soon.